Oh, cool.
moving in. Yeah, he was very, but he wanted to fix
he probably would have,
everything.
Dude, so
he would have been on time to breakfast. I think I'm just picturing him.
But no, he's
no.
there. So listen to this.
Me and him had breakfast first.
No,
Before you guys got there.
he will make you wait another 2 hours.
He's bad about it.
sure.
Oh yeah, this guy is there, right?
Yeah.
And I'm telling Christopher like, hey, you gotta tell him to get the fuck out of here. So we need to go meet Josh. We had planned this with Josh, and this guy is looking in his tool bag. Let me check right here to see if I got the right tool to fix this drawer. And I'm like, we don't have time. And Christopher is like, no, this guy offered me to help me, and I really feel bad because he enjoys helping people.
I didn't want to be rude, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
But Braulio's face was really stressed out, and that's when we got there. It's like, hey, I'm gonna like apologize with Josh because it was pretty much my fault.
Welcome back to another episode of the Venevolent Show. Thank you for being here, Josh.
Yeah, guys. Thanks for having me here.
A pleasure, man.
It's awesome. I've heard, dude, I'm a fan. I've been watching it. I've been following it. And then it's like you watch your favorite movie and then all of a sudden you're in the movie. It's weird, you know?
You're the main character in this one. No pressure.
This is Josh. He's one of my really good friends that I met when I moved to Chattanooga. And he's actually a musician. He plays the guitar. He's a really, really good singer. Like, if you have a chance to come out to Chattanooga and look for one of his events, please go to one of his shows.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
And
Let's not be humble on this one. He's a pretty good musician.
yeah, he does crazy stuff. Like, every time I do my personal request for songs and I say, hey, can you play me some Gravity? He never fails.
It's because you ask for the same song every time. It's really easy. It's like,
Well, I'm trying to make you.
I know one song really well.
I'm trying to make you excel at Gravity.
Yeah, it gets
You
better.
think you're
every
really
time.
good now?
Yeah, getting there. Getting there. Every time it's a little better.
Nice. Get used to
It's
it.
a good song, though. That's the other thing. You're asking a song I like. Sometimes people ask for stuff that it's the last thing I want to play. Like, maybe you just got played certain songs so often and it's part of the gig. But, like, I'm happy to never play Sweet Caroline again. Or
Okay, noted.
Or, like, Hotel California. I like the song. The songs get ruined if you play them over and over again.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I love those songs. And even hearing them on the radio, I still like them, but playing them, I'm okay skipping those forever. Never playing those again.
You were mentioning that your dad was requesting Frozen today, right?
Yeah, he does that at every gig. He'll shout it over and over again until I play it. I don't know where it started. I guess like...
Have you ever sang Frozen for him?
Yeah.
Oh.
I used to do it a lot.
He probably loves it so much that you're like...
That's one of the other ones I don't want to play. But back in the day, I used to have to... Frozen was new, which would have been what year? Like 2015?
16, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And so it was like people liked it and kids liked it at gigs. But now I just, it feels outdated for one. And I never like playing it anyway. And it's hard to sing. And I forgot how to play it. So he shouted it like 20 times at me today. And I was like,
Yeah,
stop.
it's like similar to the... What is that song? The... Shark do what is it?
Yeah, that one I did for a while too.
But it's
But it'd be
another
just
one,
like that. Like him.
but it's
Baby
another
Shark.
one of those songs, right?
Baby
that you
Shark.
get
And there's
sick of it.
There's certain kid songs I like. Like I love playing Little Mermaid stuff. Little Mermaid's where it's at. I love the songs of Little
Okay.
Mermaid. Kiss the Girls. That is like top notch. 90s Disney had some great music and other kids song. What's the new one?
Did you see the new one?
Bruno. I play the Bruno song. We don't talk about Bruno. Then there's a new one.
You're talking about the new Little Mermaid movie?
Oh
or
yeah, I haven't seen that yet. But
a new Disney movie.
Disney movie, so I have to keep up with those. But Bruno, I'll play. We don't talk about Bruno.
Okay.
Oh, Luca.
No, that's from Encanto.
Bruno. Oh, that's from Encanto.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that one. That was in Colombia and the whole thing.
That was good. That was a good.
That one
movie.
is a good
Yeah,
movie.
I
It
like
was
that
a
one.
little, it goes right with how South Americans are. It was very superstitious. Wasn't it based on a superstition
Yeah.
that you cannot say Bruno? That there was particular things like you cannot say Bruno or you cannot. What was the other thing like?
What was a superstition back in Venezuela? That
Okay, this is actually a very funny one. So, if you have sex in your car, you need to pee your 4 tires, or something is gonna break on your car.
You need to pee on the tires?
Yeah, yourself.
Really?
Yeah.
I never heard of that one.
Well, you're from the other side of Venezuela, bro.
Was this something that like the
No,
car
like, for real.
dealership told you?
No. No, it's not
the
a
Saab
conspiracy from the Venezuelan mechanics. No. So let's say that you have sex today. In the next 24 hours, week, you should be able to pee your 4 tires, or you're gonna have an accident, or your car is gonna broke on you, something like that.
That's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember it. I don't remember anything related to sex, but that one was crazy. I remember just basic ones from like, we have this type of owl in Venezuela that they sleep in churches. I'm sure that you guys have heard. Like they sleep in, I don't know what they call it in English.
I think maybe
We used to call
church
them
owl, maybe?
We used to call them chaures. The
Chaures.
chaures.
What?
So they're known for sleeping like in churches and high places and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure that you guys have it. And it's this really mysterious looking bird that when it would fly over a house and they'll make like a very particular noise, they'll just go "Wah," something like that. And it's something that you know it's a chaure. And the superstition around it is that it is known to be a witch that is flying over your house, saying that somebody close to you or around there is gonna die or has the potential to die soon. And then a good way to kind of counter that is that you have to say el coño de tu madre to that thing.
So you get back to him.
To get back to him.
So what happens if you're having sex in a car and then the owl flies over at the same time?
You're fucked.
Yeah.
Like,
No, but like,
Do you shit on the tires?
Oh, you should pee on the tires while you said coño de tu madre, coño de tu madre, and get back to him.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. You know another one? If you're sleeping and you dream that you or someone close to you lose some teeth,
Yeah, I've heard this.
is that someone it's gonna die.
I've heard that one, and I've had a dream like that before.
That's scary.
No, I don't think anybody died, but I remember having that dream and being more worried about that superstition than anything.
Did you try to like reach to people close to you, like, hey, how everything at home, or
No, I don't think so.
you just let it slide?
I just, pushed it down.
Okay.
I don't remember what I did, but I remember having that dream, and being more worried about the fact that I heard not to have that dream. And I was like, well, you can't undo it now.
Tell us about a superstition from here that you know.
I feel like they're probably universal, but maybe not. Like the black cat crossing your path. You know that one?
Yes, I do.
Going
know that
under
one.
a stair.
Going under a
A
ladder.
ladder.
The ladder,
Breaking
yeah.
a mirror. Like
7 years of bad
what
luck.
about the crack in the sidewalk?
Oh yeah, you shouldn't step
You
on
shouldn't
those
step
ones.
on the cracks in the sidewalk.
Yeah, but then the rhyme was step on a crack, break your mother's back. And I don't think anybody was really worried that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I got to check on mom.
I have some
Friday the 13th.
No, my mom's a chiropractor too.
Okay.
So maybe if I stepped on a crack, she'd crack somebody else's back. And maybe that's helps her business if I step on cracks,
So you do it on purpose.
It's like, Mom, she's like, business
I've been
is
helping
slow.
you the whole week, Mom.
She's like, can you, the Google ads aren't working. You got to step up on more cracks. And I just like, Mom, I don't want to do this
Quit
anymore.
it.
She's like, go outside and step on the cracks.
We're
going to lose the house.
Do you ever heard the one that is if you're saying something and something in the room falls, whatever you were saying must be true? Like you're saying like an statement, an affirmation. Let's say that I'm saying like, on Tuesday it's gonna rain, and then Braulio drops a pencil or something. It's like as soon as the pencil falls, it's like, oh, that must be true.
No, I don't know that one. See, that's also a Venezuelan.
You heard that, about that one, Braulio?
I think I remember.
True
but
words.
it's not
Palabras ciertas.
right. But I remember being something like specifically being like if something falls, like if something happens, like like if you hear a thud, or if you hear like, or yeah, I don't remember it being specifically, but I guess it's true. Like when something falls, it makes a thud, and then you're like, oh, palabra cierta. Like that's must be true. But the other one, talking about rain, is if it was your birthday. Well, not necessarily your birthday, but I remember, this is a personal story. I had planned a birthday party. My mom did when I was like a little kid. I was probably turning 6 or 7. I don't remember. And it was supposed to be outside in my backyard. And we were going to have, it was a Sonic theme party.
Nice.
The hedgehog, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not the fast food.
Not the restaurant. I didn't even know the restaurant existed.
I knew recently that it was the animal. I thought it was just like these animals have like spines on it.
A porcupine.
A porcupine. I thought it was
No,
a
hedgehogs are
porcupine.
No, it's well, sorry, did I miss it?
Hedgehogs are different, but I get they both have little spikies, but the hedgehogs are softer. Like,
and they're cuter.
They
They're
don't hurt
cute.
when
They're
you
like
touch
kind of
them.
like sand colored.
They are cute.
Yeah. So when we had planned this, whatever, and I guess we didn't have the weather app back then. I don't know. My mom didn't, for sure. But
True story.
It started to look like it was gonna rain really hard, and my mom had done all this production for my birthday, and another superstition thing to do is to stick a knife in your garden.
No, I don't know that. See, these are all.
Wait,
So it doesn't rain.
You stick it in?
Yeah.
Did people do it at the party?
No, like it doesn't have to be knives. It's just the one knife. Your mom can come out and just put it there, and it'll take the rain away.
So did they do this? Did you see
Yeah,
this?
my mom did. Yeah,
That's interesting.
my
No,
mom
I
did
don't know
it,
that
and
one.
it didn't rain.
That's fascinating because my grandma used to do that, but like with
that's
two
interesting.
knives, she will lay them as a cross, like literally like this, to avoid the rain to fall.
That's crazy. No, that's totally not. I'd never heard that one. What happens if like you're having dinner and you're going to cut your steak and all your knives are outside in the yard?
You have to take a choice.
Do we do it
You
with
want
rain
that?
or-
You want that steak, or do
Yeah.
you want not to rain?
You can just like go like, guys, bare hand with that, because you want rain or you want to cut your steak.
I wonder what the origin of that one is, because that's so interesting to me.
Yeah.
That one's really, because you're like, I just don't see, like, looking at it like now here, like, how is that gonna? And maybe that's the whole point of these
Superstition.
superstitions. Is none of them make any sense really, but that one to me is particularly wild.
It's
like,
interesting because you have to have faith.
Yeah,
And we're not. Let's think upside the box here. Not see faith like religion or from a religion point of view, but like have faith in something. Like you do this crazy shit, and it's like you have faith that putting your knife that way, you're gonna like control the weather pretty much.
we gotta test it in Tennessee, see if it's a Venezuelan thing only, or we'll have to stick a knife outside next time it's gonna rain and see if it works.
Or if you do not want to get married, you just ask somebody to sweep on your feet.
Oh yeah, that's that one too.
But if you do want to, like, when somebody is sweeping and they come near your feet and they start sweeping around your feet, like on top of your shoes, people like kind of freak out. Like, stop. I'm not going to get married.
I want to get
These
married.
are so interesting.
Or
I've never heard of any
or
of these.
step on a cat tail. Also,
Is that bad luck?
For what?
for not getting married.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting. No, we have. I'm
Do you
telling
have
you.
to find a cat, or is it like accidentally do it?
I think it's accidental.
So not like seeking out
you
a
don't
cat.
have
to,
exactly.
like,
You have to.
step
You don't.
on.
You cannot plan it.
You're like, I don't want to get married. I gotta, like, this one cat is
I have to
just in the
pretend that I'm like,
wrong place, wrong time for
Exactly.
this cat. It's like, that sucks for that cat.
yeah.
Another one that was so stupid that I just remembered was my grandmother particularly was so strict about this one. You could not, for the life of you could not open an umbrella inside the house.
No, I know that one.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I know. Or what about knock on wood for good luck? Was that a thing?
I think that's more of American, but like I feel like it's adapted in
Actually
South
one.
America from other cultures, but it's not like I don't remember people being like, "Oh, knock on wood."
That one I actually see. That's probably the
I
most
do
common.
remember. I have like a few memories from my childhood of my mostly my grandma and my
Oh, really?
granddad doing that.
Yeah.
And your purse or your wallet, never put it on the ground because that bring ruin to you.
Mm-hmm.
Needs to be like up, like in a table or hang.
Yeah. Or you
That's
could.
the most common, I would say, in the States. Like,
Which
if one I actually see in practice, like all that, like just people doing the knock on wood's probably the most.
Yeah,
common.
no, all the time. That's the one I hear the most.
Probably the only one. I guess I didn't grow up with anybody very superstitious, and maybe
And
that's
if
why I can't think of more.
you, there is another one that is very popular. If you wanna marry a handsome prince, you should kiss a frog.
You know that one?
That one is pretty.
I've tried many times.
Yeah.
How's that going?
You know, go find a frog after I stepped on a cat's tail, and I'm like, man, I got to undo that curse. And I want to get married.
Hey, you never know which one is gonna be the right frog, so you better keep on doing it.
Yeah.
I think the ugliest the frog, the handsome the prince. Makes
It's
sense.
a high risk to take though, because what if it's just consistent? Like, you pick an ugly frog and he looks just like that. That's way worse, right?
Shit.
Because then you had to deal with kissing an ugly frog,
And
now
then you
you're
just
stuck.
like run away
I
trying
guess-
to step on a cat.
Nobody ever tells you have to stay with the prince. You know, it's not like you could keep trying.
Well, but divorce is not a thing in Disney.
Yeah, but you're not married to the prince just because he pops up. You know, you could just be like, it's not really what I was looking for. And then he's stuck being a prince who was
You
a
just
frog.
ghost them.
Can't speak English, eats flies. He doesn't really, like, it's harsh on him.
You
but-
speak frog.
Yeah. He's just like this, like Borg of a human who just
Oh my God.
but he can't go back. He tries kissing frogs and they
That
just turn into
sounds
princes.
so contradictory to all that Disney he's been telling me all these years.
He's just like wandering around looking for love and he can't. That'd be awful to do to a frog. Really.
What about if the frog pop on?
And the frogs don't get him either, you know? Then he goes back to his frogs. He's like, I guess I'll go back. And they're like, stop hanging out with us. Who are you?
I guess that if you kiss a frog, the frog is gonna pop on. It's like, oh, you kissed me. I've been waiting for you my whole life.
Yeah.
We're destined together, you know. And you're like, man, I just like feel sad.
She might try it for a while. She might test it. But, you know, turns out he's a frog, you know, and you have a lot that's not in common, you know. A lot of the stuff you thought that you wanted, he's still a frog, you know.
Disney is gonna hate us for this. That's for sure.
It's tough.
And the thing I've always asked is like, why a frog? Who said, like, can you imagine just going back to the creative? I guess there's got to be a backstory about a frog.
Yeah, some old nursery rhyme or something, I would imagine. A lot of those came from old nursery rhymes. But have you ever looked back at the Brothers Grimm tales and how dark they are? The original nursery rhymes? Like, they're awful. They're not Disney modified a lot. So who knows what the real frog story was like if that was one of those. Like, it may be just as dark as we're saying. Like,
You know, I went to the movie theater to see The Little Mermaid recently. My girlfriend is obsessed with mermaids. And she told me the real end of the movie. And it blew my mind
The
away.
real what?
The real end.
I don't know of The Little Mermaid. So what happens at the end?
So, not in the movie that we saw. In
But
the movie, she's like happy ever after. Like
Yeah.
Disney's show you. But she became ocean foam
What?
at the end. Yeah.
Just becomes a little foam?
She's just part of the ocean.
And if the prince kisses the foam, does she come back? You know, it's like
No.
just like the frog
She's
thing.
just like
Can-
sails away
can-
as foam.
But that's also kind of poetic if you think it that way. She
Yeah, that's-
became part of the ocean. It's like, if you think about it from she was a human, or not even like half human, half fish. And then,
A mermaid.
and then she just vanishes into sea foam and becomes part of it. Well, how was your girlfriend telling it? Like in a sad way?
Well, she break the spell. She saved her prince, but they never actually get together because
Oh,
she
interesting.
sacrificed herself
For
for him,
the spell.
and she became foam.
By choice?
I
Or-
guess
It was that or he dying.
Man.
I guess it's just like the
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
It's
saying?
like you got two choices.
yeah.
And they're both good options. It's like one, your prince is gonna die, or Do you know about Seafoam?
It's just like your goal, girl.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, but no rush. Make this call.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, true that.
I want to go back to talking about your life as a musician, because I think you and I have talked before, and you've told me before, like, oh yeah, I just started playing guitar when I was in high school or middle school, whatever, and you showed me a couple of your like crazy videos of you like being a teenager trying to play and whatever. But like, how did it really start it?
Well, I think I just probably Rock Band or Guitar Hero first.
Mm-hmm.
And I
There
realized
you
I was
go.
spending a lot of time on this stupid game. And my dad was like, if you learn real guitar, I'll buy one for you. I think he was annoyed that I was wasting so much time on that game. And I was like, okay. So I got really serious about it. But playing live was a whole different thing. I think I'd always wanted to make that a job for a while. Like in college, I was like, I'm going to play bars and restaurants. That sounds like a fun job. I don't want to go work in a restaurant, or I was working as a waiter. And I was like, so I just sat down 1 week and learned like 100 songs. And and my roommates were probably so pissed because I was just like, I was printing them. It wasn't even on an iPad, but I was printing them out and putting them in a binder and just practicing each one. And I got them down and I went to this restaurant and I was like, hey, I made it sound like I'd been playing around, but I hadn't. I'd never played anywhere. And they let me play, and I'm sure I was awful. I watched the old videos, like I could not sing. Guitar work was real choppy. Like I could do it, but I was not a professional. And years later, the owner of that restaurant, he was like, "You were awful the first time you played." And I was like, "Yeah, man." He was like, "But you were so persistent. I kind of took you on as a project." And I was like, "I'm just gonna let it and see if it gets better." And then I got, I learned, and that had to practice more and more, and ended up getting gigs on cruise ships and getting a couple contracts on cruise ships and playing weddings and getting to travel all over the world playing music. It was awesome. Like I was actually doing it, but I probably would have been really discouraged and never tried if that guy had been like, dude, you don't have it. Maybe I would have kept going, but he said since then, because I see him every now and then, he owns this Mexican restaurant in Pelham called Margarita Grill. It's a great spot. And he was like, now I take on other musicians that are like projects like that. And even if they're not quite good enough, I'll let them come back and play, and I'll tell them about you, which is really cool because I felt
That's
like
awesome.
back then I pulled up the videos. It's like, I can't, it's bad. I'm trying songs that are like way higher than I should be singing them. And I've got this weird, like Smashing Pumpkins. Like, I'm like, I'm smooth. It's so bad.
Oh my God, I can only imagine.
I'll have to pull them up for you guys eventually. But anyway, so I just hustled and really tried to learn and get better and better. And then on the shifts, I was playing every day, 3 or 4 hours a day. And
That is crazy.
That's when I got really good at
A
it.
musician, which for you were like catalysts, like situations, moment, or even people that push you forward into that path?
Like inspirations are more like real people, like people I would talk to, or
Interactions,
I think-
situations, people even.
I think initially I saw people doing it in bars and I was like, that would be such a cool job. Or I'd wait at a restaurant and see the guy playing. I was like, that's way more fun. I knew I played, but that and just like I don't know. It was never like I'm gonna go be a famous musician. I was never like, okay, I gotta be the next John Mayer. That was never. It was more like I want to make money at this and make it where I can like.
Yeah, that wasn't your intention wasn't to be like the next pop star. Like, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
were just like thinking
Like,
middle
yeah.
class musician that you could make a living out of it.
And it was great hours for like a college, because I was in school for 8 years, so I had to do something at night. I couldn't work through classes, especially in chiropractic college. I was like school 7:30 to 5 for 3 years straight. I didn't have a break, and so I'd go.
Tight schedule.
I'd play brunch gigs all weekend. Some days on Saturdays I would do like a music festival or a beer festival in the morning, like 9 to 11. Then I'd go play a brunch gig from like 12 to 3, and then I'd go play like a dive bar from like 9 to 2 a.m. So I was able to fit it really well, or I'd play really late, and it sucked sometimes being out till 2 a.m. and having to go to a 7:30 a.m. class. But
Wow.
And that's the life of an artist. Like working, whether you're an actor, whether you're a musician, and you're just trying to make it just to be consistent. Like you want to be getting gigs consistently, and be always like performing, I guess. That is pretty much the common theme among those people. Like I don't know, like me as an actor, I'm pretty busy with my life. I have a job that I have tons of responsibilities that I have to still deal with and manage every day. And it's pretty much like that, like where it was school before for you, and then you graduated, then you have a whole career from school, and you still have a schedule, but you have that outlet that
Yeah. Now it's fun.
Yeah.
It's not for money. It's I want to do this because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that's a really good place to be.
But sometimes, don't you struggle sometimes with like, you're very tired from X, Y, and Z, either if it's from work or whatever, but you still want to get after it, and you're like, I want to go write my next song. I want to go finish this song I'm writing and stuff. And sometimes your creativity gets affected by your sleep schedule because you've done like, and I find it pretty frustrating. Sometimes that happens to me when I'm like, I have a ton of auditions that that I want to do, because that is the difference when you say I have an audition that I have to do. It changes your whole mindset about it.
Right. It's an obligation.
It's an obligation, like a task. But you always, as a creator and an artist, you want to say, I want to do that audition, or I want to write this song, or I want to finish this song. But to your point, I feel like it's very, very hard sometimes to just like fit everything in 24 hours and still stay afloat.
Well, especially recording. That's what I'm trying to learn now, is do a lot of it. So I'm working on some projects, which I've got a lot. Writing the songs are easy. I like that part. That's easy. It's simple. Pick up the guitar, but recording's a lot more work.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to learn now. So I've got 20, 30 songs I really want to put somewhere, but right now I just play them at gigs and that's it. And I don't have a high quality version to get out.
I'm curious. So you said that you don't see yourself, or you didn't start this to be the next John Mayer, but let's say that you keep having fun, enjoying your craft, and in some point you'll find yourself on that position.
Yeah, if something took off, I'd definitely like take advantage of it. Yeah, it would be, at least for a while, try it out. You know, it'd be hard with the practice, you know,
Of course.
Because that's the main thing now. Like if something
you were trying to like balance it out.
Yeah, and I'd have to go travel on the weekends, and
I feel like you really have no way of controlling that.
Yeah.
Nobody who has ever made it big, in my opinion, is probably like, okay, when that takes off, sometimes it just happens, and you have to just ride with the wave, and then you find yourself in a pretty crazy situation. In a good thing, you're like, when did I become this?
Yeah.
When did I like? It's like, think about it this way: when you started learning to play the guitar, you had no idea you were gonna end up playing at venues and playing gigs at bars and going in the cruise ship and playing, and then you found yourself in that position, and you were like, if you think back to it, you're like, damn, I really learned and put work and passion into my craft that got me here, and you had really no control over that.
And that like 100-song binder turned into like 3,000 songs on an iPad, which is crazy too. Thinking about how hard it was to get those hundreds. I mean, just like a week straight. Just okay, I gotta learn.
Remind me the name of your album, please.
The new, the one I've released, only one I put out, is called 7 Stories Tall.
7 Stories Tall.
And that's on Spotify.
Please make yourselves a favor. Go and check 7 Stories Tall from our friend Josh Wheeler in Spotify right now.
And I'm posting all the new stuff on my Instagram too, so we can link that. But that's at Josh Wheeler Musician.
We'll put it there.
This is completely unrelated, but I'm just like, it's been on my head since we start talking. What happened on your wrist?
Here?
Yeah, like that one right there.
Oh.
You have on a scar. That's a surgery right there.
Yeah. In college, I when
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
When a grizzly bear attacks your college campus, you gotta,
I knew it. I knew you're a hero.
Thank you for your service.
I fell playing two-hand touch football in college, and this is related to music. I was like starting gearing up, and I popped. I was playing a lot of gigs. I was really taking off, and then we're playing two-hand touch, and I fall, and I come up, and my arm is bent like the other way. So
let me ask you this: like, but your hand is able to like hold a baby?
Still?
Yeah.
Or or that day?
No, like you can hold a baby
that day,
then?
I probably could have held a baby, but it would have sucked for me and the baby.
You know what I'm asking you that, right?
Now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now and I play guitar. It's totally good.
No, you know what I'm asking you about you holding a baby?
Why?
Because I want you to be prepared for this story I'm about to read. To
Oh. I'm like, do you have a baby in
I'm
here?
trying to keep you on your toes, Josh. Come on now. This is the Venevolent show.
I'm waiting for like a baby to come in. You're like, go ahead and pick it up.
No, we're not that. We still don't have.
ahead and grab it.
What a segue.
Money to like
Good
pay for a
segue.
baby.
Yeah, good transition.
That's a good segue. Go ahead. Take it away.
Am I the asshole? This is a subreddit from Am
Okay.
I the asshole from Reddit. Am I the asshole for not letting my sister-in-law hold our baby? My wife and I just brought home our beautiful baby. When we got home, I wanted my older son to hold the baby. He is 14. But my wife said no. She said she wasn't comfortable with anyone but us holding the baby yet. I wasn't happy about this, but I respect that. As a mom, she's anxious about how vulnerable our baby is, so I'll let it go. Yesterday, her sister came over and wanted to hold the baby. I say no, that my wife and I aren't comfortable with anyone but us holding him yet. My wife then said it was fine, that her sister was a special case. I said no, that I wasn't comfortable with it. Her sister was offended and left. My wife is angry with me and says I was an asshole to her sister. I think I am just being consistent. Was I an asshole to my sister-in-law? What do you think?
So who wasn't allowed? Her sister was allowed to hold the baby.
They agree
That
nobody's gonna hold our baby.
Yes, I got that. But then who was allowed to hold the baby and who wasn't? One sister was.
His wife want her sister to hold the baby, and she said,
Yeah.
He said, no. I mean, my younger brother of 14 cannot hold it. Why your sister would?
I don't know. It's pretty extreme. Like,
Yeah.
Everybody wants to hold a new baby. That's kinda,
Everybody.
Like, what are they worried is going to happen? I guess would be my question.
Wait,
Are they-
what's how old is the brother?
The younger brother, 14.
14. I feel like it's old enough to hold a baby.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
then the only reason I'm saying this is like, it wouldn't be weird for somebody to say like, I wouldn't want this person to hold a baby because that person is like 7 or 8. You know, there's gotta be a legitimate reason for you to not hold the baby.
Yeah, like too young or maybe too old too.
Too old. That
You know,
could,
if
yeah.
you're like 97 and you can't.
Like, you don't want anybody to
tough.
drop your baby on the floor.
You got to have your extremes, but
I seen kids of, I don't know, 7, 8 holding babies. And I don't think that 14 it's unreasonable age to hold a baby.
is there fear of somebody's going to drop it, or do you think it was more?
She
like
might not
disease,
feel
like, worried
comfortable
about, like,
with
viruses
that
or-
person holding the baby.
Yeah.
But she didn't communicate that. She said, I feel that nobody should hold our baby but ourselves.
Oh, you're saying like she is under that general umbrella, she's hiding something very specific. Like she don't want that person.
That's how I perceived the story.
Oh, I see. Like everybody else is fine, but
Yeah.
not this person.
Yeah, but she's generalizing, so
that's
not to
weird.
attack. If that was the case, I would say, right? Like you're not allowed to hold my baby.
I think the baby should make that call. You know.
Yeah.
Let the baby kind of look. give you a
Actually,
look.
have you seen that deal?
Maybe
There's this
distinguish.
thing that babies do, where like I'm a baby, right? And you go like this.
Hold on, let me see your face.
Hold me, and then they just pick.
We're talking about
Is this
a
like-
newborn baby that
is this one
he
of those?
doesn't know how to move his arm.
But
frog
like
princes?
huh?
Is this one of those weird
princess.
frog princes? It's like, hold me.
But it is true. You never seen like
Baby
there are
frog
definitely
princess.
there are definitely babies who are not newborn, but like I feel like they're pretty young when they randomly choose the people that they want with.
That's true, but they switch too. Like, I don't know. And when they're that young, they don't know what's going on. They're
Yeah.
not gonna remember it anyway. So
I feel like Yeah, probably. Like, I don't know. That's a hard situation to say that she was the asshole, because she could be. She could have been an asshole.
He's not asking if she is the asshole. He's
Oh.
asking if he was the asshole for
We're saying it's like that's
deny
the rule.
her sister-in-law
Oh, okay.
hold his baby.
On that, he's being a little sassy because I get it, but then he's just kind of a little bit. I would say he's being a little sassy.
You're
about
gonna
it.
give him a gentle. You're the asshole.
Yeah, a little. He's a.
Little tap.
Just a I don't know what this motion's supposed to be.
Like-
Especially when we're
A
talking
gen-
about the
a
tap
gentle-
on the asshole. I don't want to. This is a bad motion.
Assholeness.
No, but that's a legitimate. One of the in that subreddit.
Yeah.
If you're not fully like strong with your opinion about being like, no, you're definitely the asshole, people give him gentle, you're the asshole.
Yeah, I'd say a gentle because he's doing that just to be. Well, you said this instead
Yeah.
of
Being
having
defensive.
Like, yeah, she can hold him, but maybe we should talk about the
Okay.
14-year-old holding it too. That's how he probably should have handled it.
What's your take about it, Barney?
I'm right there.
You're right there.
Yeah, I'm right there with him. I think gentle, because it's their baby.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
get so
You know, like you could make that call, but it's also how you deliver it and how you're about it. So, to your point, I feel there's some sass.
it's
there.
gonna get so
He's kinda sass
extreme
about it.
if they keep going at each other. It's like grandma can't hold it, and then they're not gonna be able to hold their own baby, and that's the worst. You know,
And in some
The
point, they're
baby's
gonna
just-
find
baby's
each other
gonna have
just
to
like,
learn
you
how
know
to
what?
walk.
Let's just
I can't hold it, you can't hold it, and
let's
then the
just
baby's
give this
like-
baby away. Everybody can hold it.
Yeah.
It's
Or
the,
the
it's the
opposite.
baby of the people.
It's like you go outside and you're like, who wants it?
You literally put the baby up for grabs.
Hold my baby for free.
That's funny. Just a random baby sitting there like.
What noise was,
Oh my
was
god,
that?
the sounds, man.
Oh my god.
I personally think that he's being a little sass. Maybe kind of an asshole, but still, he have a point.
He does, but he could. It's just the wrong way. It's like that whole if I'm not gonna be right, then you're not gonna be right, and just making it like a standstill. Nobody's gonna get anywhere with that. It's like going out to dinner and then your wife being like,
You
"Hey,
think
I
there
want
is a
that."
problem of communication there?
Probably. And he's going to Reddit, so yeah,
Yeah, potentially.
he's like can't talk to her. He's like I gotta get this out. Let me talk to my Reddit.
Yeah, it's in the more views of the week, so
Yeah.
it's kind of a thing.
He decided not to talk to his wife. That's
He's just gotta use Reddit.
Probably
You know?
worse.
I'm gonna drain with
Dude,
that.
that's actually a very legitimate thing. Like, if people are having issues and they have this thing, like, to get them off their chest and stuff, and they just go on Reddit and they get an amazing amount of feedback and comments and things that they could determine whether they were the assholes or not.
yeah.
Rather than have, like, a very subjective, biased opinion from people close to them, like family members and wives and stuff.
Yeah, that's
you know?
true. Just like an
Somebody can see it from
objective.
objectively, yeah.
You're trying to sneak
Well, you
the
told me I
next
was reading the next
story.
one, so I was
yeah. But you're
trying
like,
to get-
he's trying to like get the title or something. He's like,
Get a little
sneak
warm
me.
up.
Oh, for the
Let me,
story?
yes, but let me ask you something before I hand it to you. I have it ready right here. I know you're married.
Mm-hmm.
We both know Katie, but she's a friend of the Venevolent show.
Yeah.
How many years?
Before in September, so 3.5 or so.
3.5. Congratulations.
Damn.
Congratulations.
Hi to Katie, friend of the house.
Yeah. Fun fact, and you guys have more years of married than my parents had.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
How long were they married?
0.
Oh, they never got married.
No, yeah.
Oh, really?
That's why. That's what I said.
Are they still? Did they stay together or
No.
no?
No.
Because some people don't get married, but they stay together.
Yeah. Well, not the case.
Not the case.
Not married, not together.
Yeah. And I'm gonna read the title of it before
Okay.
I hand you the story. I can get turned on by my wife, and she's starting to notice. There you go. Take it away, Josh.
So, I, a 41-year-old male, have been married to my wife, who's a 29-year-old female, for a few years. I love my wife. She's everything I could ever want in a woman. She's kind to me and beautiful and a good person. Despite this, I don't feel sexually attracted to her. That's not to say I'm not attracted to her at all. I am. She still makes my heart race and makes me feel like I'm young again. I've never really had a high sex drive, but I notice now I find myself dreading her asking me. I've tried to avoid this topic of sex as much as I can, but she's starting to notice. She said when we have sex, I seem like I'm out of it. Like I just don't want to be there. I don't want to make her feel unwanted, but I also don't want to keep doing this. How should I go about this? That's intense because
It is.
that's a bad situation. Because it doesn't seem like he's blaming. A lot of times I feel like that's rooted in something else. Like the reason that sex drive might not be there is a lack of connection.
Yeah, but yeah, and you also don't want to go into it like I'm gonna go have sex to make sure that your wife feels wanted, but if you're out of it, it's like, okay, I feel sort of wanted, and that's not a good thing because it feels like a task. It feels like you're there just to literally check off a box for the day or for whatever, and then she's gonna feel even weird about it or more weird about it. And I think that there is gonna be more layers to what's happening to him about not being sexually attracted to his wife. Like I think there is probably an issue with communication, or there is some sort of resentment about something that could be happening or had happened in their relationship.
Well, it's very interesting because he said that he's not attracted to her, but not completely. Like he feels attraction to her, but not at the point where he's like, baby, let's fuck. You know what I'm saying?
But he made it sound like he never felt that way. Like not just about her.
He said that he
implies he has a low sex
had
drive.
a low sex drive.
Well, he's 41.
Also, check your testosterone.
That's what I was gonna say. He's
Also,
41. He's hitting that testosterone.
Are you eating well? Are you lifting weights? Are you getting that cold plunge in? You know, and sometimes add a little bit extra, a little bit of spiciness. Role plays, go to a sex toy, get some toys or something, man. I think that he gives me the impression that he's not putting the energy necessary. Exactly.
He's not seeking what the reason.
I mean, he's trying on Reddit, but that's
and he's not
the
talking
way.
to her probably. It doesn't seem like, because she's asking these questions like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And he's like, "Nothing's
He's
wrong."
just avoiding the situation.
And that'll make it worse.
Well, yeah, that's one of the causes of a flaccid dick.
Yeah,
Not communicating well.
it's dead on.
Communicate. Always communicate.
It's but I feel like he's saying nothing's wrong, but that is something wrong.
Definitely.
And that is a hard thing to bridge. Like, that's a very hard thing to bring up, especially because you know she's going to take it. Like,
How would you
I'm not attracted
open up?
to you.
How would you open up that conversation?
I'd probably put on, an episode of Bluey, and
I'm gonna hold on. Let me get my notepad and get this done.
have you guys ever seen The Polar Express? I think that'd be
Yes.
a great movie to put on to set the mood.
Oh my God. Tom Hanks does it best.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Okay. I'm listening.
just one episode of
Teletubbies.
Teletubbies. You say, pour a glass of wine.
You
And
guys
you
are
say, hey,
awful.
we need to talk. We got, sit down, baby.
We need to have a talk.
I've set the mood right.
Okay.
The rest is up to you.
I feel, but jokes aside, though, I feel like, don't you agree that he's got to find something that he should know what it is and deal with it and bring it up, because there is something there preventing him. Like, I understand the low libido and the age. And you don't, at that moment, like, you don't have to have sex every day. You don't have to have sex even like every week.
Wait,
Hold
on. What?
You're 41.
For real?
I'm saying,
My life is a lie.
It's a burden off your shoulders, man.
No, but
You can finally relax. It's
well,
been
I'm not
tough.
talking about personal. I'm just talking about his situation, right?
Okay.
And it feels like also like when you're there in that situation, I'm thinking it probably adds a lot more pressure to know that you have to have sex at all times, because that's gonna put you in the mentality where it's a task, but like I have to have sex in order to feel like I'm accomplished, and my wife feels wanted. But it might be something because he doesn't talk about it, but it may be something that you need to talk to your wife about and say like, hey, how when is your sex how is your sex drive? Understand your wife's sex
Right.
drive. Are you horny at all times, at any moment? I am not, because of this and this and that. I'm 41. Also, like you said, if you're not an active person, try to stay more active to raise those testosterone levels. And my point is that there is something else more other than just like your low libido that is preventing you from feeling sexually attracted to your wife. And also, it looks like he's obviously, to go on Reddit and start talking about this, he's having some
talking.
pressure. He's not talking,
Yeah.
and he's getting into this like mindset of guilty.
And he's getting in his head, and that's a spiral. But she's probably on the worst side of the coin because she's sitting there thinking something's wrong, like
Yeah.
with her, or something's wrong.
She
Like,
definitely think that.
What is not attractive about me, or what is? And it reminds me of the scene in the Polar Express that I feel like's really.
Oh my God, Jesus! I'm not gonna see the Polar Express the same anymore.
when they had a lot of sex in the
Yeah, no, I think it comes back to communication. I feel like that's maybe
Communication.
You learn
Yeah.
that. I learned that. I feel like I didn't know how to communicate when I first got married. And you hear that, and everybody's like,
yeah.
"You got to learn this. You got to learn this." And you're like, "I know how to talk," but that's like a practice.
Yeah.
It's hard to
And you
bring
will
up those
say
hard
that
things.
if you have like years of marriage, in some point you just know how to communicate. You just like break that barrier.
I don't think
No.
that ever's the case.
No.
I think you're always learning and
Yeah.
always figuring out how to get better.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
There's always something that comes up that you weren't even aware. Like, it's been my case where like I've always been trying to be really good at communicating, and you think like you're really good at communicating, but as far as you know, it's like it goes with the phrase of you don't know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then something comes up that you're like, oh, I wasn't covering this entire new thing that I just discovered. And that's when you start getting better at like adding those topic and issues that arise to your communication.
Mm-hmm.
But that it's funny because those things come with more communication. The more communication you're having, the more you're gonna learn about it. Because I feel like a lot of people get into the mindset, and I mean we're all guilty of this. I feel even in the current relationship or past relationship where you just immediately when you start thinking about communication, you just avoid it because you start in your head. I feel like you start to come up with all these outcomes and assumptions that you're thinking like, well, if I go and talk about this, she's gonna say this
The
and that.
overthinkingness.
Yeah, you're
always
already
get you.
you're already making a story about it, and you're like, well, if I go say this, she's gonna tell me that no. So you just don't do it, period. And that is actually worse. That makes
Oh yeah, that's where you get to. Even sometimes, if you need to say something very personal about the other person that you don't like or that they've done wrong, once you say it and you get through it, and not like in an attacking way, but hey, this has really been bothering me, you feel a lot closer when you do it. Even though you feel like it's going to make them pissed at you and that they're not going to want to like.
right.
You feel like you're going to push them
Right.
away, but the opposite tends to happen when you're honest.
And you also, while you communicate, you also learn about delivery. You need to know how to deliver things because that's very important. You could actually make a point across, but you could either be an asshole about it and not know and just say it like it is, or you could actually explain and have a good delivery because that's very important.
It's really easy to unload.
Yes.
And that's the worst when you like one thing leads to bringing up like 9 things and then nobody takes that well. Nobody can handle
And
like
that's also part of the deal, right? Be able to, if you're committed to this person for the rest of your life, be able to communicate with this person. Like, listen, I feel uncomfortable for this or this or this, or you know what, my dick is not getting hard lately.
yeah.
You know,
I'm 41.
at 41.
Things are changing
Damn.
in my
Well-
body.
Well, chances are, like, let's say if he opens up to his wife about this, if he's making assumptions about like my wife is gonna think the worst of me if I start saying this, she's gonna feel unwanted and she's gonna confirm that I'm not attracted to her anymore and blah blah blah. That's what he's probably thinking. But what are the possibilities of him opening up and his wife actually empathizing with his situation and ending up helping him how to overcome that issue? Like, hey, we're in this together. I want you to have fun. I want you to be the man that you want to be, and I don't want you to feel pressure into like that you need to make me feel wanted at all times, because that's not very much the case. I want you to be good in order for us to be happy, because you need to be happy, I need to be happy, and then we share that happiness, and that's when it all happens. So I feel like when you are holding back from having that conversation, you're actually delaying the solution to that problem.
I think that's the only way. Like Reddit, it's nice to hear other people talk, but that's not going to help there.
Yeah.
Especially if she's on Reddit, you know?
Yeah. And that if she finds out that
you know,
he's on
she's like, this sounds very familiar to my situation. My husband, 41-year-old male. Me,
Can you imagine like read that other Reddit
Reading
of
the
this
comments.
Reddit? Oh my god, no.
What was the subreddit on this one?
The subreddit on this one, I think it was Off My Chest.
Off my chest. Okay.
Yes. So I want to talk about something personal right now, because today I was supposed to be here at 6:30, and I was 10 minutes past that time. So it's not that I like to be late. It's like I always find myself so busy. So for this subreddit, I would like Braulio to read it, because Braulio is the person that is being having to deal with me being 10 minutes past the time recently. Yeah. So the title is "There is no excuse for people who are systematically late." There you go, Braulio.
You're calling yourself out. I love it. Let's see. This is from an unpopular opinion. Especially for an adult, if you're late for the majority of your meetups without an adequate excuse, that is something that needs to be worked on as a priority in your character, due to it being the bare minimum that you ought to do in social circles and family. Whether the excuse is poor time management skills or procrastination, ultimately what you're saying to other people that wait is... Ultimately what you are saying to other people that wait is, hey, your time doesn't mean that much. Some people tolerate this with saying like, well, that is just him or her, or it's in their nature. And quite frankly, those people are equally as irresponsible as the former mentioned. I think...
I have to say, hold that thought. I have to say that Braulio is one of the most calm persons that I ever met. Like, there's no... Even when I want him to be mad, it's hard for me to make him mad, even on purpose. So I can be here like 20 minutes late. He's like, it's fine. It's okay. So he do this with his forehead, like, it's fine. It's okay. Like, he's not happy about it, but he's not gonna go on me like, motherfucker, you're late. But he's like, it's fine. It's okay. And it's like, god damn. Just that is like, god damn. Because it's not that I don't control my time properly. It's just like, for me, I think it's a cultural thing.
There is an aspect of that for sure. And like in general,
I've been thought of not being in the exact time, but around the time. So that's why I just play with my time. Oh no, it's at 9. I can be there at 9:20.
Totally. And I feel so here's the thing that I actually was that way a little bit. I was never like the always late person, but I would just be flexible about my time, right? Especially when, living in Venezuela. When I used to live in Venezuela, it's in the culture and it's everybody's mindset. So there isn't really a consequence for it unless it was something very, very important that you had to be there. And I feel like Venezuelans knew how to gauge with that, how to measure like, okay, if it's a party, I can be there late because whatever, it's a party, right? There's nothing. But if it's something else, I I would probably be there on time. And even then, systematically, it's not that rigid. It can be like a little bit flexible. But when I started learning more about time management skills was when it was brought up to me that I had this friend that would always be late at all times, getting there late, and to events late. Things that we get invited would be there late. Like late, I'm talking about almost to the point of missing the actual event or the gathering, or why are you even here? Kind of deal. And I had a thought, and it was brought up to me to where like, you know that's how you look sometimes. Not all the time, because you don't do it all the time, but that's how you look when you go to events and be there late. The way you're feeling about that person being late is how others feel about you when you get there late.
People acknowledge that from you, and then they just know that that's how you are.
Well, but yeah, exactly. But the feeling that I had made me empathize with the people that would be in the other end, in the receiving end, when I was like being there late. And then I was like, oh, I cannot be that person anymore. You know, like I was so repulsed from that type of person. So obviously, especially after living in the U.S., like me living in another country, where culturally, depending on where you live, but as a general thing, people tend to be on time, and the whole phrase of like, on time is late, or whatever it is. But like, what is it?
Right. If you're on time,
you're late.
You should be a couple minutes early.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I tend to be guilty of that. I cut it close, and I tend to be like on the dot or like 2 or 3 minutes past, which doesn't feel late. But certain things, like even at work, sometimes I'll hit a little traffic and show up a minute or two late, which isn't awful, but you know, it's a very easy thing to fix on the other end. It's 1 or 2 minutes. I just leave 1 or 2 minutes early. Or I made my brother and the greens guy at the golf course angry the other day because I had a tee time at 8 a.m. and I was cutting it close. And I called my brother. I was like, hey, can you pay for me? And I'll be right there. I'm going to be on time, but I don't want to throw run and pay. And he's a little annoyed on the phone. And then I get there, like 7:59. I park and I walk up with my clubs. I'm on time. I'm not late. I'm on the dot, 8 o'clock. And I feel good about it. I'm like, this is technically on time.
Okay.
Nobody's teed off yet. I'm walking up, and the first guy's teeing off that we're playing with, and I'm putting my clubs on the car, and the greens guy chews me out. He's like, you're supposed to be here 5 minutes early. What are you doing?
God.
And I'm like, and I'm thinking this is like an overreaction. And I'm like, wow, this guy's really mad at me. I was like, well, I'm glad I made it on time. He's like, you're not on time. You're 5 minutes late. And then I get in the car, and we're pulling off. I hit my drive, smoke it. Dead center fairway. People are really impressed. Damn. then awesome. I get in the car with my brother, and I'm like, that kind of sucks. That guy chewed me out, and Greg chewed me out too. And so like, and I really, that was like when two people are going at you, you're like, well, this
I think
is my fault.
It's very personal, because at first you said, oh, I was on time. No, nothing is wrong. And you said, I feel good about it because I was on time.
On the dot. I mean, cutting it close, but there.
So I'm reading this. I'm reading the 48 laws of power, and I don't remember the number of the law, but it says, manage your time properly. Never look like the time is controlling you. And they make an emphasis on, it doesn't matter if you're late or on time, but know or be aware that how that makes you feel. So if you're super late and that doesn't make you feel bad, okay. But if you feel bad on being late, be there super early. Be the first one there. So that's what I'm saying, that is very personal. In this case, this person called you out.
Yeah.
It makes you feel bad.
Yeah, I mean, I felt bad on the way because I was like, this is more stressful for me. I'm trying to rush to get here. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
But when I was on the dot, if I would have been a few minutes late, I would have felt bad. But I felt like I was on top. But in the future, I'll be early. Because
And I think that brings back to your point of my demeanor being so calm, because basically what you're saying is sometimes people fix or improve their time management skills by being chewed out. It's just how it works, right? And I'm very rarely that person who choose somebody out. Like, because my demeanor is more like, shame on you, like, you're doing this to yourself. Like, you should feel bad. And I let you deal with that. And I've been trying to get better at this, because sometimes there is a line where you need to actually call a person out for something. Not necessarily for being late, but like in general in life. And I have a high threshold of like, I'm just going to hope or let this person figure it out on their own, because sometimes it's so obvious that I'm like, this has got to be a joke. This person must know that they're fucking up, and they better fix it, or they better change immediately. And it's actually, I know, it's actually the opposite. Like, the less people are being chewed out, they actually think, oh, there was no consequences to this, so I'm going to keep on doing it.
Yeah. It's the only way you grow and learn, because somebody like points it out, because you may not know. And sometimes that's awkward in the moment, but you're better for it.
Right.
On my end, if I'm waiting on somebody and they're like 0 to 5 minutes late, I'm not upset about that. That doesn't feel late to me. Like, on the opposite, if I'm at dinner and somebody's like meeting at 7 at 7:05, that's not a big deal.
Right.
But past like 10 minutes, I do start to get annoyed. 10 or 15 minutes, I'm like, oh, this is...
we have a story.
I need to recall that. So, Braulio was helping me a few months ago moving in, and we were about to meet you. On
That's
Aretha
right.
Franklin.
Yeah,
but by
I
that
didn't
time,
like that.
by that time, because Braulio know you for a lot of time.
Yeah.
More than I do. So he was communicating with you, and in some point, I see him stressed. Like, shit, we need to hurry up. What's going on?
And he's just
Josh
fixing his...
just text me, really? And it's like, okay, what do you mean? I text him that we're going to be there like in 10 minutes, 20 minutes or something like that. And he texts me, really? And it's like, so? We need to hurry up. We need to wrap this up. And I couldn't understand.
And I was serious. And he's out there just like, no, I just got to hold these to glue together. And I'm like, really? He's holding a piece of wood to another piece of wood with fresh glue on.
Well, here's why it was so bad.
It needed to be fixed. That door needed to be fixed.
Because I'm messaging the group, and we go to this place called Aretha Frankenstein's, which is notorious for a long wait. And I'm like, I'll get there and deal with the wait. That's fine. I don't mind chilling. And it's like an hour wait. This is why it was bad. And I sat there for an hour by myself, and I figured this will time out perfect. They'll roll up right as the wait's done. And then I'm at the table for like 10 minutes. And then I get that text that's like, we're going to be another 20 minutes. And it takes a lot for me. Like, you lose it. And then I'm like, what? Damn it, man. I'm now like, and the wait, it's awkward with the waitress, because I'm like, initially, I'm like, they'll be right here. And then more time goes by, and you start having to apologize. Hey, I'm sorry to the waitress, even though it's like, you feel awkward that you're taking her table in this tiny restaurant.
Right. And it got my emotions got even worse, because now that I remembered, I had eaten a gummy.
Oh, that, yeah.
You had a gummy?
I had a
that
weed.
was probably so.
I had a weed gummy.
Way worse.
And it's starting to kick in as you're saying, really? And I'm just trying to rush Christopher, like, dude, we gotta get the fuck out of here. We're in trouble. And I'm like kind of like starting to sweat.
Yeah.
And Christopher, there is an extra layer, because there is another person helping us out.
Yeah.
To help Christopher move.
Yeah.
This guy, it's probably right around 60, in between 60 and 70.
Oh, no, I will say like in his middle 50s.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, rough looking.
Rough looking?
Who is this?
So I'm not going to say his name, but
50-year-old rough looking man that shows up to help you move.
He used to be my landlord.
Oh.
And we became friends, and he offered to help me with the move.
Oh, cool.
Moving in. Yeah, he was very... But he wanted to fix
he probably would have been...
Dude, so
he would have been on time to breakfast, I think. I'm just picturing him.
But no, he's
No.
there. So listen to this.
Me and him had breakfast first.
No, he will make you wait another 2 hours.
He's bad about it.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. This guy is there, right?
Yeah.
And I'm telling Christopher, like, hey, you gotta tell him to get the fuck out of here. So we need to go meet Josh. We had planned this with Josh. And this guy is looking in his tool bag. Let me check right here to see if I got the right tool to fix this drawer. And I'm like, we don't have time. And Christopher is like, no, this guy offered me to help me, and I really feel bad because he enjoys helping people.
I didn't want to be rude, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
but Braulio's face was really stressed out, and that's when we got there. It's like, hey, I'm gonna like apologize with Josh because it was pretty much my fault. And
Yeah.
he was like, this was his thing. He's not like that. And when he's seen situations like that, he feels guilty about it.
I hate
and
that feeling.
I have to recognize that when he finds himself in situations like that, it's because of me. So that's why we're talking about this subject.
Yeah.
Communication.
There you go.
You know, it was fun. I'm not one like it was over as soon as you guys got there. It's not like
I wasn't pissed off past that, but in the moment, you know, and maybe going back to that, calling somebody out on it is a good thing. And being like, and really is probably a passive aggressive way to do it, but like
For me, I just read the word really and two interrogations mark. For Braulio was the end of the word. For real.
Because I knew Josh, and Josh is like, I knew that I had the whole context of it. Like, I knew that you went there, and I know the place is notorious for having long waits, and you endured that. So thank you.
Yeah. You ended up being a good breakfast.
Great breakfast.
I had a mimosa while I waited.
You have a couple of mimosas.
Yeah, at least one. I had one while I was waiting, and then I was a little better.
Yeah.
And then you were like, fuck it, I will have a second one.
That is hilarious. This has been incredible. I really enjoy it.
We got the theme song.
But yeah, that's what I was about to say.
That was the main.
We decided to do a artist collab with Josh, and just being the amazing artist that he is, he actually brought a few samples for our new intro track.
Man, I'm so excited.
And so Christopher hasn't heard them. I was sending them the Braulio in real time. I bought Logic, and I've been trying to learn to record on my own. And so this was a really good excuse to just make a bunch of stuff and test out different sound effects and stuff. So I'm trying to see which one to start with here. I guess we'll start with...
Oh my God, you have like tons.
Well, there's probably like 5 or 6 that
Wow.
I made. And they're all short. You know, it's only a 15-second intro, so I try to keep it around
I'm
there.
so excited.
Let's do
go.
let's do this one first. This is... We'll just play them in order. This is the first one I made. So that was the very first one I like sat down and made, and I just realized Braulio had asked me to redo it with guitar, so I forgot to play. This is that one.
Yeah, because that's your specialty.
Yeah, I want to throw some guitar on it. So that's number one.
That's so clean. I really like all of them.
And I tried to do like I was thinking like calypso, like Venezuela influence, and I pictured like the Daddy Yankee, or not Daddy Yankee, but like what's his name? What's the guy you like that you went and saw in Atlanta?
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny, just like sax
No
heavy.
way.
Like,
Hold on.
I was trying to think in that realm, and I never,
Yeah.
you know, like a beat in that realm.
And you really did a good job going for that tropical Caribbean
Yeah,
vibe.
and I found this little thing on
there.
the MIDI.
It's there.
I found this little thing on the MIDI keyboard that sounded awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Benevolent. The second one I made was this one. It's similar. Just simple. Just like, because sometimes those songs are real simple.
That one was a little bit more. It was around the same.
Yeah, it's literally the
vibe,
same beat. It's
But
just
but
different piano.
the what do you call it?
The sax.
The beat, the tongue.
Yeah.
For me, it's the sax.
Oh, definitely. I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
And hearing them in hindsight, like, but I was just trying to put out a couple things real quick to like have it ready.
Yeah.
Okay, Project 3. And then. Oh, God.
Oh my. Okay.
Well, now question for that before you play the next one. Was that you burping the whole time?
I was I was experimenting with heroin at that time. I'm just kidding. No, I did like I just lowered the octave of the voice, and so it was me going like but it, like when it lowers the whole octave, it puts this like crazy low. So it was just me making a bunch of noises over that beat. Okay, that was the third.
I wonder what Katie was thinking of you.
I don't know, man. And I think it took 1 or 2 takes. It wasn't a 1 take deal.
That's
okay, and
funny.
this is the fourth one. And that was just going acoustic guitar.
That one reminded me of. Have you ever seen Little Sheldon? I don't know if it's Little Sheldon, like Sheldon Cooper, but like a kid.
No, I don't
What
think
was
so.
the name of that TV show? But it's basically the life of Sheldon.
Yeah, I
Him
never
as a
heard the
kid?
intro.
Yeah, in the intro, it's like I'm picturing like or even middle. What is it called?
I don't know.
Middle. What is it called? Middle.
Big Bang Theory?
Not the Big Bang Theory, but like
Malcolm in the Middle?
Kind of like one of those sitcoms,
Two
like
men's and a half.
2 men.
Yeah, like everybody.
That's funny.
Everybody like doing those cheesy like looks at the camera like, here, like try it with the, where'd it go? Like that. It does your little feature. And you're like, introducing Josh Wheeler. Bro, like one of those kind of deals.
And they pop up like
Yeah.
in the screen.
Yeah.
That goes very well with the sunrise at the end because it's the.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, and then this one, I was thinking like more because your whole thing is like the positivity. So I just made like a happy little simple song.
Sweet.
Just real chill, real
That
easy.
that could be when we do our season on the road.
What's your season on the road?
The Venevolent show, and in a van, going state by state.
Yeah, and then you're just
on a
like
road trip, and that's the intro.
Wind blowing, and you're just like,
Yeah.
do. Look at
And
the
we
camera.
just set up a little studio in front of a lake with mountains in the back.
Yeah.
And that's where we record.
Oh my God, that would
Just-
be solid.
Just do scenic locations.
Okay,
We
what
just
else?
interview a bear or something, some animal, so wild animal.
Yeah, the bird that took Josh's wrist.
All right, and this is the newest one. This is the one probably neither one of you guys have heard this one.
Ooh.
This is the only one I sang on and put lyrics on. So this is new for everybody.
The Venevolent Show, wholesome family fun. The Venevolent Show, we're full of Christian values. Braulio and Christopher, best friends from Venezuela, and they're also lovers.
Man, that's priceless. Oh my God, George, you nailed that one.
That one I did last night.
Oh my God.
I met Braulio at the Bitter, and then I went home and I was like, I'm gonna make a song.
That's awesome. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I know that's Christopher's favorite already.
Oh, it's my favorite. You need to send it to me so I can like play every time the Braulio calls me.
If
It's
you
gonna
make,
ring.
yeah, the Benevolent Show. If you just make it like that was actually the intro. You'd have to explain that away every time. But by the way, we're not lovers. It's just a song.
Dude. Awesome.
Wholesome family fun.
That is awesome.
I was proud of it. I made it last night. I was
That's
like,
great.
That's good.
That's great.
But what we're gonna do, seriously, what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna do a poll, and we're gonna put the options. Hopefully, I think that you guys can remember. We're gonna put the 4 options. Was it 4?
Oh, and
Who's
it's
late?
6, but like a few of them aren't serious. But okay, the first one. How do you want to like? You want to do it? So the first one would be the one
The
with the
sax
sax.
and the sax.
Which
yeah.
ones are we actually in consideration? Let's make it simple. So the sax one,
The sax definitely.
probably skip the second one with the drum beat and the piano.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we'll call that one.
The one where you're
Out.
playing the guitar.
The sax and the guitar.
So the first one with the guitar, with the you said called it the sitcom intro, and the next one was like the really sweet, happy version, like just a soft acoustic guitar.
Yes.
And then the fourth one will throw the benevolent one with the lyrics.
My favorite one.
But I feel like if that's probably gonna get voted for, and
That was just to,
you're not
to
gonna
fuck with
you're
us.
not gonna want. So potentially,
Of
that's
course,
up to you.
of course. But we're gonna add up to the poll to let you guys vote and see what you guys liked and help us out with changing our intro music with
That's cool, man. It's always fun for me.
Josh's music.
It's
I
a-
think it's gonna be amazing. Thank you for doing that.
And the rest that don't get used.
And thank
we
you
can-
for being here, Josh.
And just remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Venevolent Show. We have our TikTok account, TikTok, Instagram, and all of our social media at The Venevolent Show.
Apple Podcasts.
Listen to us on everything out there. Apple Podcasts, if you're an Android user, Google Play, Amazon Prime, everywhere. We're everywhere.
And I'll plug my project coming up here. So
And yeah, that's what.
I've got a new. So only a couple. I'm putting the beats together right now. But I'm going to play music at a chiropractic conference in August. And last year I played some songs I wrote in college that are like, we'd have competitions or things like that where they're all like science nerdy songs. Like one's called How to Make a Hormone, one's called The Ketone Bodies. But the album's going to be called Songs I Wrote in Chiropractic College, and I'm going to release it with that conference I'm playing. So that's August 4th or 5th, I think that's going to come out. Anyway,
August
that's
4th.
It's the first thing
August
I've ever
4th.
recorded myself and done all by myself.
Nice.
So,
Let's do it.
so
Let's
it's kind
go.
of, I don't expect number one hits because it's such a niche topic and genre, but
And then,
should be
surprisingly, it happened.
yeah. Have you heard this new Ketone song?
It's amazing.
I love it.
Yeah, that's hilarious. But find Josh Wheeler on Instagram at Josh Wheeler Musician, right?
Josh Wheeler Musician, and then on Spotify it's just Josh Wheeler. Same on YouTube and all that. You'll be able to find him.
Awesome.
And just as our president Joe Biden says,
You gotta listen to, and everybody's up. I'm serious.
There you go.
good night.